slightly nervous, but like also it's a flu. Like I just have to be calm, like be like cognizant of what I'm doing and try to keep my immune
Jesus.
system healthy.
Ugh. Do you know anyone that has corona?
So it's been hard for a lot of people to get testing because there isn't a lot of tests out there. But the girl who is the editor for my website that's launching, she believes that her and her whole house, all her roommates,
Oh.
younger, like 20 something, they all have it.
Oh shit.
So they're
So
all
we're
doing okay.
okay. We're ready to go, guys.
So where are you, Kim? Where are you in the boroughs? You in the
I'm
boroughs,
in
Staten
Staten
Island?
Island.
Okay.
Ground zero.
Yeah. Where my face is.
Take it away, Jackie.
No, we're starting up. Aren't we starting up again? Fuck you. No. So we just do our thing for 1 minute and then we'll introduce you. Cannabis with Kim. Tribe Tokes.
Right?
Yep. Derek says we're ready.
Derek's always saying we're ready. Can we talk about Derek?
No, he's not saying we're ready until we're ready.
From the industry through the community, right into your home. It's the Green Room, and we're on. What's going on, everybody? It's Lester under quarantine with Cannabis Wiki. That's right. I am here with our cannabis social influencer and best-selling author with over 2 million Facebook followers and over 130,000 Instagram followers. You know that drip, 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 drip. Big Jackie Childs. What's going on, lady?
Oh, God. Not much, Lester. Just sitting here. And like everybody else is just sitting here. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Green Room. Hope everyone's doing okay, keeping well, washing your hands, and keeping your fucking distance.
Right? What is that hashtag? That hashtag's what? Stay the fuck home? Something
Yeah,
like
it's
that?
not, yeah, stay the fuck home. I'm not doing hashtag spread kindness anymore. I'm like, stay the fuck home. I don't care what you're spreading. Just don't spread it anywhere near me.
I love it. I love it. So I see Drew in the background. So how's quarantine going on with you guys?
He's going out of his mind. He wakes up the crack of dawn and he's in bed by 9. And he's doing his thing. His gym because he runs gyms, they're closed. He's doing what he can do to keep busy. He's dropping groceries off at people because we designate one person per household to leave. That's like Trudeau, said one person. He's the only one that's left the house. I haven't left in 9 days. Yeah, he's the one doing the errands and stuff like that. So let's get to our guest.
Who do we have today?
We have my friend from New York, Cannabis with Kim from Tribe Tokes. Welcome.
I love it.
Guys, what's up? How are you?
Always a little bit better when you're on our set.
Coming at you from New York City, though. I'm coming at you. Jackie's like, I am so glad that you are that far away from me. So.
Listen, I'm glad you're ground zero. I don't want anything.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's a shit show.
So tell us, shit show, what's going on in New York?
Well, I really want to first shout out like all of our medical workers and our grocery store workers and our pharmacies.
Wow.
Essential workers have been holding it down, and I appreciate that so much. But it's scary. The Javits Center is now a 1,000 bed hospital.
Wow.
That's a little like it's scary.
That's alarming.
It is. It sure is. And the National Guard has been deployed, and they're really skilled, and their expertise lies in med. So that's just like it's good to know that they're here, but it's also scary when like you see like National Guard just tanks outside of Harlem and things like that. It's scary and it alarms people, but it also is the reality of what the fuck is really happening right now. And people just need to get prepared and strong for it, because we can't deal with any more panic or like shortage of toilet paper. Like, it's enough.
That's insane. So is there a shortage of cannabis?
So I don't think that there is a shortage of cannabis, But this is New York City, where we have a very meager uh, medical program that
Right.
doesn't allow for actual flower. But I will tell you that all the weed men, they busy AF.
Oh, I'm sure.
The weed men in New York are holding it down, and
So you're not like on lockdown because they can still go out and do the delivery, right? Like, what does it mean?
so we're not on lockdown, but they don't want you out. They want you to do social distancing and really practice that and stay home as much as humanly possible. Essential workers obviously have to travel.
Right. Is it possible to shut down New York? Like, is it possible to like close the parks and the restaurants and the clubs? And is that what they've done?
Yes, yes, but there's still some parks and things open. They have, shut down a lot of like the buildings and the parks and the municipalities, et cetera. But you can still. I went down yesterday to the ferry dock where the 9/11 Staten Island 9/11 memorial is,
Right.
and there was no one there. Literally, there was two homeless men sleeping way over yonder. One lady was leaving as I was coming in, and I sat there for about a half hour with like nobody walked by, and I was able to do that. No one bothered me. It's very close to the police station, and there was plenty of cops patrolling and cars out on the street, people jogging,
Wow.
walking their animals. But like you can tell, it was a ghost town compared to what it normally is.
For sure.
But still like a little bit of traffic. I went out, I was like, I need some sunshine and fresh air stat, like for real.
Yeah, I think I do too.
So is New York implementing like the dispensaries, the legal dispensaries? Are they implementing that curbside pickup? Like I hear has actually licensed curbside pickup for the dispensaries, and then I hear that Colorado, they're not even allowed to be open unless they get licensed for curbside pickup.
There's no delivery, but I'm not sure exactly how the pickup is working right now. I know people are getting stuff because I know some of my friends that have went. I personally haven't left my house, and
Right.
I left one time to go to my office in a car by myself and came right back. And that was 10 days ago. So I really haven't left.
Wow.
And so I haven't been out because I was a little having some health issues.
Bless
Bless
you.
you.
Bless you,
Health
bless
issues.
Not Corona.
The terpenes. The terpenes. I was having a little bit of a health thing, nothing major, but enough to where my doctor was like, lay low. Don't go out. Listen, you're one of the people that just needs to listen and you'll be fine.
Right.
And so I've been kind of like holding to that because I like my life. I want to keep it. I
didn't realize how
do.
much I liked my life until,
Seriously.
right? Like I always
That's
thought
true.
I had a great life. And then this happens and I'm like, what the hell? I'm like mourning for
Yeah.
the old way everything was.
Totally.
I want to be fighting with Control Room in person. I don't want to be doing this online. Like,
Just put it on the docket, Jackie. Just put it on the docket.
seriously, I am more as much as I say I don't like people and so-and-so's an ass and so-and-so's whatever, I clearly love people and I clearly
Yeah.
feed off the energy of human to human contact and connections. Like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ah.
It's very unnatural. And in New York, it's such a communal city. And
sure.
so it's really been like really interesting to see, but more than ever, people are smoking weed and shouting it out
Right.
from like in Italy, people are, serenading and singing out the window. In New York, people are smoking weed out the window. I'm
Right,
sorry, I
right.
have no place to go, people.
So
Right.
it became an essential, it's allowed to stay open because it's an essential service, right? Cannabis is,
Yeah.
and what do you think of that, since your jails are full of people in jail for cannabis, yet it is now deemed an
Now
essential
essential.
service?
This is just so, it's good. because now we have a fucking leg to stand on.
Right.
Close Rikers immediately. That place is forsaken and should not even be. I don't care. Like a lot of people are there for very small crimes.
Right.
Rikers Island is not, it's just a holding place for everyone. So whether you're a murderer or you sold some weed, you're in the same place, and it's terrible. And they need to close that place immediately. And they need to do another round of expungement that is so deep that it's questionable to let people out, but they need to do it.
So what are you saying? New York actually, they expunged some crimes already?
Yes, petty, really, really super petty weed charges. About, you know, I don't know the number. At one point, it was like 6,600 or something like that. But I believe they've done a few rounds of them where
Right.
they've just kind of like allowed for certain people just to be like, we're wiping this off of your record. It's ridiculous. So, and they're allowing for like application to do that, which is great. But now, no. Oh no, like it's an essential business, yet there are people still in jail. Like, I get it. It's the traditional market is not a legal market, but you know, there's some states, like I think it was Massachusetts or Michigan, one of the M's that was like, we're not going to go after people for criminal charges. We're going to go after their wallet and make them pay for tax evasion and things like that, which like
Right.
I feel is just like a more fair way of saying like, okay, like this is acceptable and things
Mhm.
like that. Like
Mhm.
it's crazy.
It's a
but
negotiation.
yeah.
What do you think about, is it Cuomo? Is that your Governor Cuomo, or what do you think of him?
You know, I'm not really, I'm not like super pleased with the State of the Union of New York as far as legalization of cannabis and many other things. I will say that like New York is a semi well-oiled machine, and I have a lot of respect for a city and Bill de Blasio. Again, like I'm not even going to say I like him as a politician, but he's definitely been shouting out for the people, which I really appreciate. It's like, it's crazy because I just don't think that any of the politicians have really done anything to sing that I would sing praise for.
Even
At
during
all.
Corona, because I've been
Bill
watching
de
him a lot.
Blasio definitely Bill de Blasio in the state of what this is doing a fine job of really trying his hardest not to allow people to live in a state of panic or fear,
Right.
but also
Good.
talking to the severity, setting up a lot of you know, things like hospitals and more ventilators and things like that here in New York City. Because remember, like New York has over 30,000 cases of coronavirus and growing. And it's growing because we have more tests. And the other day it was like 2,000 more people and then 3,000 more people in a 24-hour period. It's going to get crazy. Our police department and our healthcare workers are starting to get sick.
Right.
And so things are going to start shutting down. We need all of our New York heroes, our politicians, and our citizens to just come together and watch out for each other. You know, women and men are alone at this time in their houses isolating. People need to be checked on. I personally have a cannabis old grandpa in the Upper West Side, Upper East Side, that I am keeping tabs on, because he is by himself, and you know, just he doesn't use the apps, and he doesn't, you know how to do things as well as maybe like people my age or younger. So I'm
Right.
keeping an eye on him every day, and I think that that's what's going to really happen in New York, just like what happened in 9/11. I mean, we really came together as citizens to say, like, let's put all judgment aside and help each other, from the fire department to NYPD to MTA, like at
Right.
the DOT, like all of those big municipalities and platforms coming together. And that's what we're starting to see. And it's really amazing to see that, but they're all starting to get sick. And now
Right.
what do we do? So we're going to need the citizens to just really,
Step
be
up.
there be fair and law abiding in most sense, and without compromising your core values, of course.
Right.
But just remember, like, the stock market is closed in New York. I mean, actual trading floor.
Yeah.
The trading floor in New York City
In
is
history,
closed.
right? That's never
In
happened in
history.
history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, that just shows the severity of what is happening. They're letting out inmates that are, that have health issues and that can be let go. They're doing a lot of things.
Oh,
They
wow.
cut the subway trips are down. They've cut certain lines out. Like, we're coming down to the point where it's New York City is moving at a crawl.
Well, didn't you guys just get that big ship come in? That's going to be a hospital. They brought in. I saw some big. Did you see the ship that they brought in?
Yeah,
That's
the
gonna be floating?
National Guard came and brought things to, yes, there's a ship, and then they brought stuff to the Javits Center. So
Oh,
there's a
okay.
ship and there is the hospital. So there's
Right.
two different things, and it's crazy. I look out my when I walked the other day, I could see like all like the National Guard ships
Wow.
in the water. It's like so crazy. But again, New York, like always does, will come together. We will rise up. We will put aside our differences, and we are the melting pot of the world. And
For sure.
so
Right.
it's going to be a scene, but
What was the thing, Women Grow? What was that big thing that got canceled? I wanted to come because it was in Erie. Wasn't it in Erie, Pennsylvania or something? Or it wasn't far.
no, it was in Albany.
It was Albany, New York, which I
Yes.
could drive to in a couple hours.
Yeah.
That's why I
What was
wanted
that?
to come.
I'm so
What was that?
sad that we had to cancel our lobby day, our women's lobby day to Albany, where we are going to fight for our rights, not just for women, but for all New Yorkers, by holding our politicians accountable. That say that they're going to help us. And so, but instead we did a virtual lobby day, which was really successful, where we just dialed up and got on the phone with our politicians. I left messages upon messages because I wasn't getting answers. And we all did some social media viral blitz stuff. And it was really just amazing that we couldn't get on the bus together, but we got on the bus together.
So what were some of the messages you were leaving?
We had actually, I love it how organized Women Grow is with things like this. They gave us a script that was really just amazing. And so basically we were saying, like, we are like deeming cannabis essential, and we want for legalization, and we want the bills to be for the people, not for the politicians and the revenue. We need this, to be seen as, a medical platform with an adult use addendum, and so it's amazing what Women Grow put together. It's sad that, again, we couldn't come together because riding the bus is like all the fun, like,
I wanted to ride the bus.
yeah, man. But like, unfortunately, this is what happens. And so I'm really looking forward to being able to join with my Canna sisters in, another time. What we are doing is a lot of virtual stuff. We've been doing a lot of virtual sessions and Google Hangouts and Zooms and things like that. So Tanya, the tri-state market leader, the regional market leader, has been putting together like these fun calls for all of us just to get together and chat. So it's been, again, really amazing to see everybody come together and say, like, we can still, communicate virtually and do a damn good job of it.
Everybody's adjusting. They're making the pivots to what's happening right now, which is excellent.
But not for too long.
Mhm.
How much longer do you think?
I'm scared though, because they're saying that, Easter is going to be when they say, like, we cannot be closed anymore. They've got to reopen. But I got word from the Hilton in New York City that they are taking reservations for July.
Okay.
So They say that our apex should be at Easter and that there's absolutely no way that the city can be functioning at Easter when that is supposed to be our apex. I'm not sure what's going to happen, guys. It's it's a whole new world out here, and
That's
no
got to
one
be the
really knows what.
scariest. That's got to be the scariest. Your president saying that he's ready to open back up the city, and here talking with you, and you're telling us just the other day that there's 2,000 new cases just arrived. Like,
Scary.
Yeah, I really hope that we're able to isolate and do the social distancing and really be able to put ourselves in a place where we can stop the spread. What are they calling it? Flatten the curve.
mhm.
But it doesn't, seem that we're able to flatten it. In fact, it seems as if the curve has gotten even more accentuated, and I'm not sure that I could see anything happening here in the next 6 weeks. I mean, everything for the next 3 months has been canceled.
Were
The
you
Javits
supposed to be
Center, the hospital.
Were you
Right.
supposed to be at Spanibus or Hall of Flowers or any of those? Were you doing any of that?
Yeah, I was speaking at South by Southwest, and I was really devastated, but also thankful that they canceled it so that I didn't have to make the decision not to go, because I was
Right.
really like tossing coins, like, what the F am I doing? And I
Yeah.
was like, not wanting to miss it. So yeah, it's been a little hard. I was supposed to go to Hall of Flowers too, just to attend, because that's, the show of the year. So that
Yeah.
was really sad. The CWCBE, which is in New York at the Javits Center, postponed until October. So there's just like a lot of, we just canceled. I'm on the committee for the Cannabis Parade, which is one of the longest and oldest running cannabis events in the United States, and even one of the longest ones in the world. And so it's just heartbreaking. What's really heartbreaking is all of our friends and family and favorite businesses being closed and being scared and trying to figure out like what's going to happen next. It's a lot for people to handle, and I'm really just thanking God for weed and cannabis and CBD and the community, because like more than ever, anxieties are running high, but we have
Right.
to not panic and see this through.
Right.
I'm
Right.
panicking. Ugh.
Like, when
It-
will I get
you-
my
you-
eyelashes done?
Oh my God.
Kim, jeez. Oh,
I'm
sweet.
scared right now. What the F, man?
I got
The end of civilization.
Jesus. So what's hopeful? What do you see the other side of this? How do you who survives? There's a lot of small businesses and there's a lot of mom and pops, and there's, even CBD, things that are just new and just legal and they've just passed their licensing or whatever and now they can't operate.
Well, the good news is that cannabis stocks are doing well. And being deemed an essential business by multiple states is a huge leap for us.
Right.
And that has just brought a lot of positive flow into all of the different parts of cannabis. I saw that canopy growth is up, like, I don't know, it was like 21 or 31%. It was
21,
a really high
yes.
number.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was a really high number. And then also there was something Ontario, a Canadian Ontario something cannabis. Anyway, that their stock was way up. So I feel that cannabis definitely and has an opportunity to really show its value. And
Right.
the dollar, the United States dollar, is the strongest that it's been in years.
Yeah,
And so
Canada not so good.
yeah, but we're in a really good place right now. If you're in the cannabis industry, specifically the THC industry, you really can, if you hold tight and make smart moves, this is your time to shine. CBD is a little harder. There's a lot of hemp out there. There's a lot of biomass. More hemp was grown than could be sold here in the United States, and there's a big surplus. And so I think it's really going to be a battle of the brands.
Wow.
And that's going to be tough, but bigger brands, of course, that have
the advantage.
more liquid are going to be able to do more. Lucky enough for us, for Tribe Tokes, our e-commerce has been booming. And we have a skeleton crew that we've isolated well, and we're still doing a lot of shipping. And so we're being really super careful, and it's definitely going to be a challenge. But as of now, we're doing really, really well. And I know a lot of other brands that are doing well too, which really warms my heart.
Right.
It's going to be interesting to see, you know, what happens, but I know that CBD is going to be a really cutthroat business coming up here, because it really is a lot of brands, and it's really, really saturated. So I think it's going to be interesting to see who does come out on top, but I hope everyone does, because there's plenty of room for all of us. We've barely touched the demographic.
Preach.
Of and I think that if everyone really hold tight, we're all in the same boat.
Right.
It's not like everyone's in like a different
Everyone.
place. We're all shut down, and things are going to slow down, and things are going to change, and we all have the opportunity to take the lemons and make super lemon haze and smoke all the weed and get it. But it's really about how, you know, you live your life and what your own, you know, energies are. And I'm eating healthy and exercising. I'm doing 10-minute workouts on the Tribe Tokes IGTV. I'm Pilates instructor for 20 years. I'm trying to, you know, show people that, like, if you're going to be sitting home, not paying rent, what can you do in that time that is valuable enough that in 3 months you could pay that rent back and then some, you know?
Yeah.
So it's
Harvard
about,
has online classes. Did you see that?
and
Harvard
they're
is
doing
offering-
them for really, there's that one class, they're doing it for like a steal. Is
What,
it
like
free? They
It's
might even have
free.
a free. Yeah, it's great. And this is just, again, the citizens, the people, the humans of the world coming together and saying, like, you know what, this sucks, but how can we give back? And how can we, even if every person touched one person's life, you know, or one platform, you know, it's like we can make a difference by just coming together, uniting, putting our differences aside and saying, like, okay, like, this is what it is. Let's go through it together.
Well, you already, you know that for humankind, it always takes a huge catastrophe to make us all become one. So maybe the silver lining at the end of this will be that humanity will move forward better together after this.
It's
I
like,
think a lot of things will change.
but just stay the fuck home in the meantime. Stay the fuck home.
Just stay the fuck home.
No, and that's well said, Kim, because you're in a real hot zone right now. So it was really great to get in and hear what's going on the ground in New York. Right.
Thank you guys for thinking of me. And, you know, I appreciate that you care about all the places and all the people and all the things. That just goes to show what a service you guys are doing. And I'm so, so glad that before all this happened, that you guys were doing this, because I know that so many people are going to use you guys as, you know, you going live and doing this every single night. We're going to use you as a source of real information from real people. And thank you for that service, because this takes time. Like, this is your time, and this is valuable. And I really just appreciate you guys doing this. It's awesome. It's what's up.
I appreciate you. I want to tell you a funny story quick. I was, I'm not really showering, and personal hygiene's out the freaking window. My office has my husband snoring on the couch behind me, but I used I always use your eye cream. And this morning I used your CBD pain cream all over my face. Oh yeah, it's rubbing it in good. Oh, it's really tingly. I've been crying for days, but today I wasn't crying. I was watering like a lunatic.
Oh my God. One of my
Jackpot.
business partners, one of her family members did that too.
Oh, it's a tingly one.
Oh boy. Well, you look really rejuvenated, Seth.
I'm
It's real
pain-free.
nice for you. Like,
Oh shit, I love it. I love it.
oh my
Yo,
God.
well, we hope everybody in Staten Island, the boroughs, New York, completely Manhattan, like the whole place. We want you guys to be safe. We want everybody to make
Stay
it
safe,
through.
stay well.
And here in Canada, we're definitely praying for you guys in New York and Italy, France, all over the world. We love humanity, and we're hoping that everybody will get together and stay strong.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, lots of immunity to everyone.
And thank you for doing this. Thank you for coming on. I mean, I'd be in bed.
I mean, I love you guys. I'm a huge fan. So when Jackie calls, I answer. So that's for sure. But I love both y'all. You guys
Love
are
it.
great. Thank you so much for having me.
So, Kim, I'm going to give you the last word before I close it out. So what do you want to tell everybody for the last thing to say tonight?
Oh, as
Stay
hard
the
as
fuck
this
home.
is,
That's
stay
it.
the fuck home. Stay the fuck home. Let's flatten the curve together. We're
Real.
all in the same boat. On the other side, we will come out renewed and ready to make business and take our lives and our economy and this world to the next level, a happier, healthier, more robust world.
Love it. Well said. Well
Very
said.
hopeful.
Jackpot, anything else to say?
No, that's it. I mean, the same. We're all in this together, and it's changing by the hour. It's, we're riding this wave. And
Well, this has been the Green Room, and we're all under quarantine. Showing the world. Hey, we're following just like everybody else. We're asking to follow. Stay the fuck home. You know where Cannabis Talk is always fresh, a little bit sticky. Keep it locked. Cannabis Wiki, the Green Room, and we're out. Peace.
Peace, guys. Thanks, Kim.
Stay safe. Wash your fucking hands.
Wash your fucking hands. Spread your kindness elsewhere.
All right.
6 feet away. 6 feet away.
I'm so glad you came on. Thank you so much.
That was so fun, guys. Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. We'll get the
Yes, guys. Yeah, stay the fuck home, stay safe, stay lit, and I'm sending you guys lots of positive immunity vibes.
Good.
I need them.
Hey, any big changes, you get hold of us, right? And we can have a
Yeah,
talk.
I definitely, for sure. I'll keep you guys posted.
All right, love it.
Thanks.
Bye, guys. Take
See ya.
care.
Lester,
Yo,
how's that? That's scary.
New York?
Yes. I wouldn't be in New York right
Just
now.
there, Jackie. We were just there. We were just in Staten Island.
Like,
Do you guys want me to get the next person on?
who is it?
I don't know. I'm asking, or is that it?
That's
That was
it.
Okay, no problem.
Hang on. Wait. Just
Time is it?
ping me. Oh, now Corey Herkesoo wants to come on.
No, fuck him, man. It's 8
He
o'clock.
said, I put my kids to bed.
Yeah,
I can-
What are you saying?
All right.
What are you saying?
Let's do it.
What, you guys don't want to do it? You guys are live, eh? You guys are live.
Yeah, let's do it. It's
Let's do
45 minutes.
He's killing us.
You
We're
guys,
live.
like, make up your, like, I mean, I didn't stop the stream because you guys said you want to do people, so.
Let's call him now. See if we can get him in the green room live.
All right.
Let's see.
It's 8 o'clock.
And then we're out. Like, Drew's having a hard time holding this ship. I'm going to move this to upstairs from now on. I'm going to go shut myself in somewhere private. Because, like, the cats are humping each other. The dog's doing stuff. Like, it's
I told you, let Budsy get a little something.
for real?
Christ's sakes, man.
honestly, Lester, for real, my house is very quiet. There's never a lot of action going on. It's always quiet and calm until I sit here and we say we're going live. The second we say we're going live, Budsy's got issues. The cats are climbing the walls. I heard my kid come in and like, what the hell? No, it's silent. So, like, it's ridiculous.
Well, you know, Jackie, that gives you and Drew a lot of time to bang, 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 bang.
No, I don't want that. Just kidding. Well, I'm not saying. maybe on Friday.
Hey, listen, these are the times that families get to spend extra amount of time to build those bonds again, man.
Yeah, and it's gonna make or break a lot of families too. That's for damn sure.
Well, hopefully
Oh,
it makes them,
hey.
not break them.
We
Look
have a
at
guest.
this guy. Look at, he's rolling.
Hello.
He's a dad.
He's always popping style.
Fine,
You see,
thank you.
you see the shirt he's wearing?
Yeah.
He's always popping style.
Your phone lines are down.
Is it ever on chill, Corey?
First you.
What's he doing? Who are you talking to?
Click and collect. I gotta get my groceries. Leave me alone.
I'm getting my groceries.
I just had to flash this, and they're like, "Sir, calm down. We'll get you your fucking eggs." I'm like, "You raised 3 kids under 5."
Oh my god.
I'm always saying this guy's always kicking style. I love the shirt.
So
Yeah,
Lester,
but I still got my dad's slippers on. Don't worry.
your dad's slippers.
Don't even worry.
Last time I saw you, last time we caught up, you were wearing moccasins on the red carpet.
I was, and now I'm wearing. Look at this. Don't laugh at me, Derek.
Are they? Oh, they're nice.
Okay.
They're like the North Face Mocka shoe. I haven't taken them off in 2 weeks. I'm like, I'm home, motherfucker. I'm wearing slippers. I haven't taken off jogging pants in a week.
I haven't showered and I don't know when. I think it was 2019 the last time.
No, showering I have to do. Showering is when you're. No, that's one thing I have to do.
Same.
I'm at home.
Same.
I don't
Jackie loves threatening me with that.
Skype days. I don't shower. Guess.
You don't have, Jackie, you don't have to shower. If I was even looking as you, I wouldn't have
No.
to shower either.
No, she does need to shower, my friend. Okay.
Let's introduce Corey. Can we?
Are we
introduce-
running?
Yeah.
No?
Control room. Are
Hold
we?
on, let me just set his lower thirds. Give me 2 minutes.
Oh,
Okay.
Just
so
give you guys a heads up that when they come and knock on my car, I gotta let the groceries in. Otherwise, I'm all yours.
that's fine.
No
That's fine.
problem.
Control room is just setting up your name and your thing on the bottom so it shows up on the screen so everyone knows who we're talking to.
Sure.
And then we'll talk. Crazy time in the cannabis space. Crazy time in every space.
Crazy time in every space.
Yeah.
It is like, we are actually living in a depression right now. It's very scary. It's very, very scary.
It
Because
is.
it's like you're living in this dystopian Walking Dead where I'm like, is this fucking virus? Like, I'm gonna walk through a park and see some zombies like
I
that.
keep
Like,
thinking the Handmaid's Tale. I can't stop thinking the Handmaid's
yes.
Like-
Are we living in Gilead right now?
Tale. Yeah, it's scary. Like
It's really scary.
And then this is
It's an
it.
unknown.
Like I'm talking to. I got strangers coming into my kitchen all day. It's freaking weird.
Look, I take one thing that I have with my daughters is that I take them for walks every day, and how I've acclimatized them to animals is that we stop and make sure they pet every dog they see. Since they were born, every dog we stop, they put their hand up to smell and they pet the dog. And because of Corona, they can't do that. And there was a puppy French bulldog on the path today.
Oh,
Jackie, it was 3 months old.
oh, it died.
And my daughter started crying because I said, you can't touch it. And she just didn't understand because, like,
Aw.
all her life, she's been able to touch every dog. And, like, there's been, like, a French Bulldog, a Great Dane, the Bernese Mountain. No. And this dog was, like, pulling at its leash to come to us.
How do you explain to your kids? They're just little, right? They're just so
Yeah.
little. What do they think's going on?
Well, my wife and I had a son, had a little baby boy, and the breast.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Was it a week ago?
He's 10 days old now. And his bris was virtual. And it was when the last bris where the moil was allowed. Right now, the brises are all completely private. Nobody's allowed in.
Right.
We were allowed. My father-in-law is a periodontist.
Okay.
So he has medical grade mask and gown and gloves. He brought them in.
We're ready anytime you guys are ready.
Okay.
Can we tell this?
Yeah, sure.
When we're live, it's good. I like these stories. Okay, we're ready whenever you're ready, Lester.
What, you're not doing the intro?
No.
Why? You just gotta do like that. Why can't you just come in and give me that Derek voice?
Come on, Lester. Just do it. What the hell? He's not got anything else to do. Just do the intro.
Lester.
I love it. I love it. From the industry through the community, right into your home. It's the Green Room, and we're on. What's going on, everybody? It's Les from Cannabis Wiki, and I am under quarantine. That's
Still.
right. Yeah, still. We are here with our award-winning cannabis social influencer and best-selling author with over 2 million Facebook followers and 130,000 Instagram followers. You know, my little blonde friend, that drip.
Doesn't mean much right now. During these Handmaid's Tale times.
Jackie Childs.
Hey,
What's going on,
Lester.
girlfriend? What's going on? What's going on?
I like our
We're
setup.
live.
I like that we're doing it live, and I like that we're still holding it down. It's a little different than we're used to, but I'm healthy, you're healthy, and hopefully our guest is healthy. Who do we have? Who do we have here, Lester?
We have this gentleman. As we've done some work, he's helped us out on PR. He used to be with Rainmaker. We are going to talk to the one, the only Corey Herskew.
How do you
Going
say your
on,
last
sir?
name? How do you say your last name?
Herskew.
Herskew. It's cool.
Herskew.
Wait, you thought I messed that up?
No, I didn't know.
Question-
if you messed it
question
up
to
or
me?
not.
I get Herskew. I grew up being called Herskew. Herskew.
Oh, sugar.
It's
So
Herskew.
where are you right now?
I am waiting outside of Fortino's for click and collect for my groceries.
Ah,
Well, when Jackie slides into your DMs, you stop what the fuck you're doing. You drop the kid into the fucking wagon, and you bust your ass home for the call.
Thank you for doing that. I
Preach.
appreciate it. I'm sorry
Preach.
if I'm a pain in your ass.
If Lester slid into my DMs, I would have blocked him. But because Jackie slid into my DM, I'm like,
Actually, we don't get a lot of male guests, Lester.
what's
We
that?
don't have a lot of male guests on the show, do we? They're usually a bunch of girls.
What are you talking about? We got
We
male
have a lot
guests.
of girl guests. So
We have an equal amount.
do we have it 50-50?
Well, it
we
may
are
be
equal
60,
opportunity
40.
employer.
We're equal opportunity. So tell us what's going on in the cannabis space right now. PR and events canceling and trying to reschedule. What's happening?
What are you up to? You used to be with Rainmaker. Tell us
I'm
what's
still-
going on.
No. Set the record straight. I'm 100% still Rainmaker,
Ah,
but Rainmaker is dormant because with the third child, I needed to make money. The industry went through a little bit of a lull,
right.
and I had to put my family first. So I went in-house at an agency to do PR and media relations for them so that I could get a salary. And that's why,
Okay.
that's the whole story behind that. Rainmaker, it still exists. It's just dormant. It's there. It's my brand. But I had to make some money during the slow times.
Right.
You pivoted.
He just had a baby 10 days ago.
Dude, I
Like,
have a son now. That's yeah, I have a son. His
so-
name is Carter.
Carter, what's happening?
Congratulations.
So during coronavirus, during being at the hospital, what happens? What's going on? Like, tell us about
It-
that.
It was so weird. It was so ominous. Like, I remember, this is my third kid. So I remember being able to walk through the hallway and like debt with the other fathers and chat and like it
Yeah.
was like a dad's waiting room. Ghost town.
Wow.
Nobody was there. We discharged on the Monday. That day, they started saying that partners can only stay for 2 hours after birth.
Oh,
1 second, my groceries.
he's got to get his groceries.
So you can say hi to Fortino's as my trunk.
This is no problem, Corey. This is no
Um,
problem because this is the reality of what we're living in right now
Literally,
today.
dude. I need my eggs. My daughters need their yogurt drinks. Back off. So yeah, no. We had the kid, and now one of my close friends had a baby today, actually,
Oh, wow.
and at Sunnybrook kicked him out 2 hours afterwards. And for like my wife and I were talking about it, like it was our third. It was a natural birth.
Right.
It's not with like you can't compare the two. For me, it's like already third one down.
Right.
I don't want to say it's easy, but like I'm desensitized.
Right.
When it's your first time and it's not natural, it's C-section, to leave you alone. Yeah, they left her to force her partner out and for her to be alone in there with her first child. It's just I can't even. My wife and I are like, you can't even fathom what that would do, and that it's scary, but like that's the reality that we're in right now.
I couldn't imagine, like, now bonding. We were talking with other guests the last couple of days about mental health and the effects of all this corona afterwards. Think of that. People that are in the hospital giving birth to their babies and they have to do it alone. And then like, well, we were just before we actually introduced and stuff, you're talking about like the brisk and stuff. How does that happen? How does your family gather for this important, you don't get a redo on these.
No. So you got to thank Zoom. Zoom came through in a clutch. Not free. We were 100% paid for it. But we were able to, my father-in-law was able to get a medical grade mask, gloves, and a gown. The Moyle wore a mask and gloves. And
wow.
I blasted a Zoom link to everybody and our close family and friends. Actually, Jay Rosenthal was on it. Jay from Business of Cannabis was there virtually. And virtually. And you know what? We made it what it was, and it was still beautiful, and it was sacred, and we had to do what we had to do, and I wasn't gonna let a fucking pandemic ruin it, and that's it.
Yeah, because we don't like, these are important. These are lifetime, like these are life's moments, and whether Corona's here or not, they're happening. These babies are coming, and things are happening, right?
Totally, and like,
wow.
One of my clients is a fertility clinic in California, and they stopped doing the IVF. They've stopped doing any of it. And like, because they're scared now that if they fertilize a woman and she has it without realizing it, the baby might be born with it.
Oh, wow.
So now to avoid liabilities, they've closed the clinic down for months now. So we are going to go for, once this calms down, it's weird. Like he and I were having a conversation about like the doctor there.
You said once this calms down, when is it going to calm down?
Who knows?
That's the question.
We're right now, the running bet is like mid-June.
Right.
That things calm down. But that's 4 months in California, people traveling or whatever for their IVF.
Yeah.
That's 4 months of no women getting fertilized.
Wow. That's weird.
Imagine how many they probably do daily, weekly.
Oh,
4 months.
The
effect.
effect.
All kind of things that are going on that people are being affected.
It's going to be such a ripple effect.
Yeah.
This is so weird. Like, it's so, I mean, each state, each country, I mean, everywhere in the world is going through this, and all these different things and different stories that we're hearing about that what Corona is causing. What, like, for you sort of on the front lines in the cannabis industry, when events are canceling or when things are being scheduled, what are you hearing? What are people talking about? Like, are we just, is everyone lost and we're all tanking and we're all like,
I think that people are trying to stay afloat right now. There's a lot of people losing jobs. I think events are the least of the worry right now. And anytime anybody even tries to say, Corey, act now, early bird, I'm like, dude, like, this is just like not the time to be trying to sell a ticket to an event.
I agree. It's not the time.
This isn't the time to be invited. And like, I'm honored when they do, but like, this isn't the time to invite someone to speak. Like, someone said to me, can you come next month to speak at our event? I'm like, I'm letting you know now, I'm not taking in-person meetings probably till May or June. Period.
Like, because we don't know what's going
to go to fucking Costco. I'm
Yeah.
not going to your goddamn conference. Like,
Yeah, I'm scared. I've been in the house for 9 days. I'm not going freaking anywhere. And people keep saying, "Oh, but by May or by June." How do we know? How do you know? Like,
by staying at home.
Yeah, but by all of us staying at home, right?
No, it's like the fact that they have to close the parks down. I go to the park and there's still kids on slides and like.
That's what I was just going to ask. How do you find it where you are? Are you finding that people are?
We walk the Beltline. Where I live, we have the Beltline, so it's fine. But there's gyms, and there's guys there wearing gloves doing workouts. I'm like, a lady walked up to him and said, I don't want to, and I was walking my dog and my kids at the time, and a lady walked up to him and said, look, I don't want to antagonize. I'm not here to start a fight with you, but go the fuck home and work out.
Seriously.
I know you want fresh air. Go for a jog for your fresh air to keep your social distance. And stay home and do your workout. Do you really have to be here right now doing this?
How did that pan out?
The guy looked at her and said, thank you. Went back to his workout.
Oh, see, some people aren't getting it. I talked to someone this morning and they said while they were Skyping their parents, they noticed they had Timbits and coffee cup, like the Tim Hortons and Timbits on the table. And they're like, oh, I thought you guys were quarantined. They said, we are. We haven't seen anyone. We haven't talked to anyone. And she said, well, how the hell did you get the Tim Hortons? Somebody went out, right? Like, that's not, somebody, like, so I know one person per household is what they're saying, is allowed to leave. Designate that one person that does the errands and does things,
I went today to Fortino's during the day, and I wore a bandana on my face because I walked in and everybody was wearing masks. Everybody was wearing gloves.
Scary.
Dude, I didn't think in my generation I would ever see this.
I can't believe it. The stock market crash and close. Like, I mean, like they're saying the trading in New York and just like the way things are. Oh, our dollar. Like, I mean, never mind. Like you're saying, never mind our
look,
dollar.
you talk about the industry. Look, Lyft just laid off its entire staff.
And Leafly, tons of them, and Lyft, and who else?
All the LPs are penny stocks now.
Yeah. Oh
They're
God.
all penny stocks.
Yeah,
and then you wonder why I had to go get a job. Like,
That's what I said. I'm like, what am I doing? Like, we're gonna have to, like, when you say influencer, I'm like, will there even be an influencer in our new normal? It's kind of stupid. Like, I'm like having a hard time posting. Like, what do you post? Well, we're all trying to wonder how we're going to pay our mortgages or how we're going to pay our bills. And
literally,
It's a hard
exactly.
time,
Thank God the government has given leniency on corporate taxes, on HST, on OSAP now.
yeah.
Because if it wasn't for my wife being incredibly good at saving and me selling a lot of shoes, no. October to January was really, really tight. And like I used to have 300 pairs of shoes, and like I sold off. I kept 60 or 70 of my like really, really favorite, and everything else is gone. And that was able to float us through a lot of the holidays.
Wow.
Was that because you were just trying to downsize, get rid of them, or is it just truly hard times going on?
I needed income.
Right.
Dude, I was doing. Listen, I'm not ashamed. I do what I have to do.
No, I'm glad. I appreciate you being real.
I was Uber Xing. Anything that I could to drive income into the account, I did what I had to do to put food on the table for my kids. And people were like, and I had people commenting like, "Well, what happens if you pick up a client? What happens if you're Ubering downtown and you pick up a client?" And I'm like, "I'll have to face that when I get there." Right?
That's
Yeah.
right.
So far, I haven't. And if I can earn an extra $150 a week, you know what that is? That's $400 towards groceries.
Yeah.
That's
And
things were tight, and I can't. You have to put during times like this. You have to put your ego aside and just do what you have to do.
We're day to day. We're hour to hour right now.
That's it.
Day to
So
day.
thankfully, I was able to connect with an old friend who I went in and I'm running his media relations for his agency now. And
Good for you.
look, I have income, so I'm able to like take a step back from working other jobs, but it's hard, and I feel for everybody, and I feel for a lot of my friends now who are really struggling, who've been laid off, who are going through this really depressive funk because they don't have money.
Well,
Yeah.
the funk's been going on for a bit, right? Because Aurora got rid of 500 jobs, Tilray 10% layoff, Zenibus, same thing, 40% staff layoff there.
It's been coming for a while, though. This has been coming for a while, and all the industry talks and panels, the word pivot.
You know the metaphor that Jay uses? when was the last time you cooked a lobster?
What?
When
When
was the
was-
last time you cooked a lobster?
August.
Lobsters don't know they're being cooked until the water is boiling and they're screaming. That's the cannabis industry. People
Yeah.
didn't know that it was what it was until it was already too late.
Right. That's just well, like Dr. Ira said about this coronavirus too. You don't know until it's already, we're thinking,
then-
oh, I don't know anyone, you don't know anyone, it must not be. And then all of a sudden everyone we know, all of a sudden.
I'm curious. What did they think it was going to be?
I like your glasses.
Eh?
Sorry, I just have to add a little bit of lightness to the conversation.
That's all
I
right, right?
know. Seriously,
Good.
like add some lightness because it's kind of nuts, eh? Like this is like you're saying Gilead. This is like Handmaid's Tale. We're all what the
It's
fuck?
fucking bonkers the world that we're living in right now. Donald Trump.
All I have to say is Donald Trump, and I'm like, what the
His Twitter is my guilty pleasure. He is like, when I look at it from an economic standpoint, I understand his rationale, but he's basically saying I'd rather economically
Lose some lives.
crush the U.S.
right,
if it stays closed any longer. So the casualties of if we keep it open with Corona, we might have to lose lives for the sake of not completely crushing the economy of the U.S.
I don't think he understands what's going on with the coronavirus.
He doesn't at all, and he tries to be like. It boggles my mind. The whole world, the way it is right now, it's just like I'm scared to talk to my kids in 10, 15 years about all this and explain what we lived through.
What are you telling them now, Corey? How are you dealing with the day-to-day
God,
situation?
they're not asking. My daughter.
They're so little.
My daughter's asking me, Daddy, did you know that when you add a horn to a horse, it becomes a unicorn?
That's where she's at.
That's where
what?
my
I
daughter's
wanna
at.
be
Like,
at.
baby, you fucking stay there.
Yeah.
My youngest daughter, who will be 2 in 2 months,
Okay.
comes to me and says to me, Dada, wait 1 minute. She runs to the other room, brings her doll or the leash, and says, Lala, our dog is Bella, be Sue's door.
She just wants to go out.
She wants to take the dog for a walk.
Aww.
That's what my kids are at. Like, I can literally close the door on the fucking bullshit that is, and now we're stuck at home. And like, it's crazy. In Judaism, in Yiddish, we call it or in Hebrew, we call it a balagan right now. But like, I wouldn't have it any other way.
So
it's crazy. It's a
you're
balagan.
at home full time. Kids are home full time. Is your wife home full time?
Wife is home. Kids are home. I have 3
Wow.
kids under 5. My wife and a nanny and me in my house
And a dog.
and a dog.
Jesus.
And
Yeah.
I haven't gone fully gray.
On a board games.
I haven't gone fully gray. I'm freaking out. I'm melting down. Like it's just changing from like I listen to inspiring stories and then I listen to the sad stories. I'm on a freaking roller coaster ride. Like we all are, right? Like
Yeah. And like I still wake up super early and like I can't go to the gym, which is fucking killing me because I used to wake up every day at 5 a.m. to go to the gym.
oh my
So now
God.
now what I do is I like do as much as I can at home and get some work done. But now with after daylight savings and the kids are young, I used to have a solid hour and a half to get work done from 5 to 6:30, catch up on emails, get some thoughts down. By the time coffee's made, the kids are up at 10 to 6.
Oh wow. Jesus.
Here we go. Yeah.
Ah.
My friend is like, so I just went drinking and I'm not gonna get out of bed till 11. I'm like, well, half my day is gone.
Yeah, by 11, you're like, well, not my new normal is I sleep till 11 and then get up. I check to see what Trudeau's saying, and then I check
Why
what
do you sleep till 11? What time do you go to bed at?
2:30, 2:30. I don't know.
How do you do that? I would.
Sorry. So, do you have anything? Do you think that what's going to come up? What's the other side going to look like for the cannabis industry?
I think it's going to reset, and I think the cream's going to rise to the top. And I think there's going to be a couple that make it through.
Yeah.
And there's going to be a lot of really cool stuff that you guys are going to see come out in the near future. and there's a lot of really cool people doing really cool things. And
Do you think it's a reset? Like we'll come together more as a community instead of an industry. You know what I'm saying? Like more of a community. We're
think
all
it-
going through this.
Yeah, become closer together,
I
united.
think that's a good question. I think that we are going to come closer together. I think that there's already a real big sense of community, and people are there for each other unequivocally. And I've made some really good friends in this industry who, to this day, I went through a really, really dark time from October to December, like really dark. And yeah, no, and and I'm very open about everything, and they were there for me. And it's hard, but the strong prevail. And I
So
think
what was it, Corey? Was it professional or personal?
man, everything. My wife was pregnant. My business was struggling. I had a lot of demands on me. Of course, every business owner has debt, so there was no money coming in. I had people asking me for the money payback. I had a pregnant wife and 2 kids and a mortgage, and it's all coming on me. And I went dark. I went through a really, really dark patch, and depressed, anxiety attacks. I had to let go of everybody, Rainmaker, and like, you know what? You come through it because at the end of the day, as dark as I got, the only thing that kept me alive were my kids. Because I said to myself, I can't do that to my kids. It's not even anybody else. They deserve more. So that right there, I would have never done anything too drastic. But I took it day to day, and I allowed myself to go back on SSRIs, and I allowed myself to do a lot of mental building and go silent and reset and do what I needed to do without the guilt of doing it. And it took me a while, and I'm in a really great spot, and I've let go of a lot of the demons that were in me, and I'm happy, and I'm in a really good place. And like, I think that there's a lot of people who need to go through I don't want to say the reset, but everyone needs to just come down to the same level.
Check our egos.
Everyone needs to check their ego. Everyone needs to be there to help each other. There needs to be less cattiness and more inclusivity, and not bringing people down. Because a lot of people were upset about what was going on for them, so they were projecting onto others, and that's where shit happened.
Hey, it's just like this. You've just opened yourself up, and that's what it's going to take for us to get closer to each other. Being able to expose ourselves and not have to worry about being ridiculed.
And Lester, at the CCAs when I saw you, I was probably at my darkest spot then. You know what I mean? But like, I had to put a face on. You can't go out there like you don't want to. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm good. I've one thing I've tried to pride myself in is my ability to compartmentalize. If I'm gonna go out, I don't wear my heart on my sleeve. Right. When I'm home and I'm vulnerable, I allow myself to be raw. And like when I was at work, I was raw. But people have to learn to let go and to, I don't want to say the word accept that you can't change, but also let yourself grow as a person. Everybody needs it. Just focus on the silver lining, focus on the positivity, focus on helping people, not bringing people down, picking them up, and focus on you. Really, really focus on you, and do what makes you happy. And don't look at him and don't look at him. Look at you, because they're not looking at you. They're looking at what they need to do.
Right.
Well, I'm hoping for people that if they don't have to go through a tragic time or something like what you've gone through, maybe this COVID-19 will be the global thing that helps us all get on that path to actually recognize
like
that.
You said, it's a reset for all of us. It's a reset. It's a refocus. Focus on what's important. We are going to come out of this differently, for sure.
No, we will. I think we're going to come out of it stronger. I think we're going to come out of it hopefully more level-headed. I think that it's going to be a really, really, really interesting few months of breakdowns and it's going to be a lot of public meltdowns. People are fucking stuck in their house. You're going to see a lot of The Shining, a lot of cabinets happening. Yeah. I'm saying it. Like,
I believe it.
People have nothing to lose anymore.
I can't wait to get my hands around Control Room's neck. but I can't get my hands around his neck through the Skype. So I have to hold on to that until I can get there.
Lester, I'm gonna join you, buddy, with the long hair crew.
Oh.
That's it. Let it go, my friend. Let
The
it go.
Rainmaker. That's
This
how
is
I just
all-
knew you as the Rainmaker.
It's all about being comfortable here.
No, you also. I remember you tweeted one saying there's one person who I've seen him at events, and him and I just never said hi to each other. And
I've stood beside you 100 times and I've never said hello.
I know, and like people were like, "Is he an asshole? Is he hard to approach?" I'm like, when we're there, we're trying to focus on 15 different conversations. It's
Right.
nothing like. Again.
And in public, my anxiety shoots through the roof.
Oh yeah, dude, you have no idea. Like,
We're all facing the same thing. We're all facing
This
it.
is why I had to stop smoking weed.
Oh.
I haven't smoked weed in 6 months now.
Wow.
This is
Wow.
good. This
I
is
can't.
good. So,
I
okay.
had
You
I
are
had a panic attack in September, and it scared the shit out of me. It legitimately scared the shit out of me.
Now, did this have to, the panic attack, was that tied in with what was going on work-wise and through
It was
home?
everything. I had this paranoid breakdown, and I remember, you know where I was? I went to see my buddies. Like, dude, let's get you out. Let's go see Rocky. It was a Friday night. We smoked a little bit of weed. Nothing huge, a little pish, whatever.
Just a little.
Again, Yiddish, a little pisher. And all of a sudden, I started crying in the movie.
Oh, God.
In Rambo. And my friend looked at me-
Rambo.
and my friend looked at me and says, Corey, this isn't a sad movie. I'm like, dude. And like, I was like this, and having all these paranoid, like my mind was racing. And I'm like, fuck it. I can't anymore. And like,
So you weren't even watching the movie?
no, I stopped. But like,
Yeah.
I'm like, that's it. I'm done.
Don't you find that as a creative person and being in PR and marketing and doing all, like speaking and doing this stuff, don't you like your mind is never quiet? How do you quiet your mind?
No, and that's the thing. So like, I'm very, very, very bad at anything scripted. And
Right.
that's part of my ADHD.
Me too.
I have won awards for ad-libbing, for being on stage and coming up with shit. I can't remember anything for my life.
Yeah, I can't have a script.
No, nothing. Scripts make me nervous. That's why I was good on TV. I'm good on live TV. I'm not good on scripted TV because I get nervous and I overthink it.
Right.
And right now, the three of us can sit and talk for 2 hours because we're all comfortable enough on camera where there's never going to be a lull. We'll always
Right.
have a conversation flow and have fun because we know what we're doing. And part of what we do, the three of us, is that we always have to be on. We always have to be ready to just have that conversation and be a little vulnerable and put it all out there, make the conversation and keep it engaged. Because 9 out of 10 people you're going to talk to are going to be too shy to do it themselves.
Right.
If we're not going to do it, somebody has to, or you don't have engaging content.
Definitely, for sure. Were you supposed to go to SXSW or Hall of Flowers or Spannabis? Were you scheduled to do any of that before?
I haven't traveled since I went to Cannabis Europa in June.
Oh, wow. So you've been going through a lot.
Well, no, I wasn't able to because I noticed the industry starting to like
Dive.
things start to slow down for me in May, June, and I'm like, I can turn it around. You know, I can turn it around.
Right.
I always do.
Right.
But by
Make
like
it
September, no, but like when you lose 60-70% of your billings in 40 days, so when you lose like 10-15%, you know what? You can turn it around.
Right.
But like I lost 60-70% of my billings because people just couldn't afford it anymore. And like it was so much that I couldn't turn it around fast enough. And like it all hit me. The realization that like I couldn't do it alone. I couldn't fix it. I've been hustling for 10 years. I deserve to take a step back, focus on my relationship with my kids, focus on my relationship with my wife, focus on my mental health, not worry about all the bullshit that comes with running a business.
Be human.
And be human. And you know what I said? And the joy of it is that I can go back to Rainmaker at any time and focus on it again. It's dormant. It's just an incorporated company. As long as the taxes are paid, the government will leave me alone.
Right.
So you stopped smoking weed. What the hell's what's up with that?
I had to, man. I'm back on SSRIs. I'm on antidepressants and anti-anxiety to help me. to keep a clear mind. And I love weed, but I can't. Should I take a break?
That's I'm like almost 3 years pharma free, and since it's Corona, I'm walking around thinking, should I make the call? Like, I don't. This is not cutting it. This is not cutting it. I don't know what to do. And you're saying like be real and be honest. I mean, half of my platform is pharma free, and I've survived this, and no more.
Yeah, but Jackie, no one's gonna judge you. Like, if you have to mix or do something, at the end of the day,
I'm a mess.
at the end of the day, fuck the brand, fuck Facebook, fuck Twitter.
Mhm.
Unless if your mind isn't right, none of that matters.
Reach.
None of that matters.
We're in church
You
right
have-
now.
I'm on Prestige, and Prestige
Oh, okay.
helped me make my. I tried Cipralex. It made me too tired. I went on to
Right.
Prestige. It helped make my mind right. Once my mind was right, I was able to be clear, do push-ups, not have anxiety attacks, not like my string wasn't cut at 12 o'clock. The way my doctor says the difference between anxiety and non is that some people have just a longer string than others. So when you have anxiety, your string is just cut earlier than other people.
Okay.
That's how I explain it to people. And
Right.
Good analogy.
branding aside, Jackie, what matters if you're a fucking miserable bag of shit?
Yeah.
No, seriously.
It's pretty bad right now. I mean, my DMs are just full, and I can't even click on one of them. I don't want to, because I just, and then people say, I look to you or you're inspiring. I can't, please don't look to me. Please don't be inspired by me. I'm a fucking train wreck. And
Yeah,
I
but-
don't know what's happening one day to the next.
Yeah, so then that's what I'm saying to you is that it doesn't matter. You need to get you right. If you right, it means doing a little bit of a mix for a little bit to get yourself back leveled out. Being worried about what the community is going to say is only hurting you. It doesn't hurt them.
I just want to hear the truth, and I like the fact that you're not using cannabis to get yourself straight, and you're one of the probably, you probably are one of the only ones that I've heard who's trying to get themselves straight, not trying to use cannabis. So I definitely want to touch back with you in
No,
a
dude,
few
it's
months.
like, I have nothing against it. I love it. Like I'm telling you,
Will we
I-
see you
That's what I
working?
like to hear.
Will you be working in the cannabis space in the future? Our new normal?
Of course, I'm going to be. I work with the retailer Shiny Bud. I do the PR for Shiny Bud. I
Okay.
still do the PR for Tinley. Like I'm not doing it. It's just not paying enough for me to make a living off of it.
Right. It's not your main focus.
It's just not my main focus. But the only thing that matters to me is being a present father, a present husband, and doing what I need to do. And when I was smoking on cannabis, smoking weed, doing what I had to do there, I wasn't able to be that person because it was inflaming the anxiety that was in me. Now that I'm on the anxiety and SSRI, I just haven't smoked weed since. Not because I got scared from that paranoid attack. I was smoking 2-3 grams a day.
Wow.
I had an attack. I said, I had the willpower to say, fuck it. Went back on SSRIs, and I've been good. And I'm like, why do I need to potentially put myself through that? And I just spoke to my best friend, another friend of mine, who has also been having existential crises lately from smoking weed. And he's out of nowhere. And paranoia is real. It's a real side effect of weed. The difference is being able to breathe through it. And some people don't know how to breathe through it. Other people just do. Everybody gets it. Everybody's mind races. It's just knowing how to breathe through it. And a lot of people don't. They don't know how to. And to judge them for using other means to help them balance out the shit that's going on in their life is just short-sighted and ignorant.
What do you think of plant medicine as far as like mushrooms?
I think if it works for you, it works for you.
That's
I
it.
think that if it works for you, life is too short to let other people's opinions get you down. You got to focus on your mind. As long as you're doing it responsibly, you're doing it right. You're not listening to your friend Brad. You're looking online. You're reading. You're talking to people who do it. You're doing the research and doing it correctly as you're supposed to be doing. Whatever makes your mind right and clear is good for you. If it's not, or you're abusing it, that's a different story.
I gotta just keep working, keep hustling. That keeps me focused. Keep hustling. It's when I sit around and sleep till 11 that the whole.
Jack, so can I tell you what I was doing when I was really depressed? I forced myself to get up at 5 a.m. to work out. That's what I did. And the first week, it was fucking awful. And you know
Yeah,
what?
I can believe it.
The second week, it wasn't. It was just a break of sweat. And I started, instead of snacking on chips and candies during the day, my team makes fun of me. You know what I eat? I eat a spear pepper
What's that?
Yeah.
A spear pepper?
from Costco. Bags.
Oh!
I have 2 apples, a pepper, beans, nuts, and
I hear no one's hoarding any of that stuff. That's all going to be available.
motherfucker, let them not hoard it and give it all to me. You process shit.
I'll get you
I'm
that
saying-
stuff.
Oh man.
Don't let your DMs get you down. Don't let that shit get you down. You gotta
Ugh.
focus on you. And if SSRIs help you, then you can do both. Fuck anybody else.
Well, what she's gonna find out is that we're all here for her, even though she does say she knows it, but she's gonna actually feel it. That everybody is here for her, just like she's here for everybody else.
Ugh.
Of course. Look, if
This
people
heavy-
aren't there for you when you need them, then they're not your friend.
This is heavy talk. This is we're at an emotional time, and we're at a breaking point for a lot of us. Do you see any of the industry, like you just said, Lyft and Hall Flowers, cannabis, all those things? Do you see any of them surviving? Like, will they be around on the other side of this? What do you think? Ooh, did we lose
Just
him?
cut out.
Yeah,
Hold on. Hold on. It cut out. I'm here. What's up?
okay. So on the other side of this, like, do you see any of these cannabis events, these industry events, expos, whatever we're calling them? So as SXW, or what was it? Cannabis.
Southwest.
Yeah. Do you see any of these guys surviving? Do you see our new normal? Will these guys be around on the other side of this? What do you think?
Good question. It's a very good question. I think that this reset is good because it's showing again, it's pointing at the bullshit of the industry. Guys like Jane Business of Cannabis, I'll give the shirt off my back to help them survive because I consider Jay a brother.
Right.
I think that,
I liked him better with the beard and hair, by the way.
dude, I look at him and he says to me, "It's your turn now." I'm like, if I shave my head and my beard,
Don't do it.
anymore.
Don't do it. I was like, I don't even think I liked it. I was like, whoa.
It's my identity now.
Why did he do that? Why did Jay shave his?
Because Dan Sachs fear-mongered him and said that Corona also lives in the beard or something.
Oh, okay. I saw that.
And
float
that's
around.
why Sachs shaved as well.
Right. Don't shave.
Are you-
Let them. Yeah.
No, my daughter and my wife, they all go like this and they pull it and they hate it. And it was longer before. I'm like, I'm gonna trim it, but like, meh.
You can trim the corona out of it, can't you? You don't need to shave it off.
Listen, who's gonna be Jesus on Easter if Easter's canceled and everyone's fucking home?
Oh man.
I gotta be your
Jesus on
fucking
Easter.
Jewish Jesus.
Oh
the Jewish Jesus.
man.
Jewish home.
Hanukkah Harry over here.
I love it. I love it. Hey, Herskew, make sure you go home and hug the wife and hug the kids because I'm glad they were around to give you strength to get your shit right. I love seeing you strong and healthy, bro. It's a good look on you.
Can I tell you right now, there's a lot of, and I hate getting into like the preachy TED talk shit of it all, but when you get through all the bullshit of everything, the only thing that matters at the end of the day is that your mind is right.
Yeah.
And if your mind isn't right, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing because you're not doing it properly and you're not happy. And you gotta do what makes you. And Jackie, like I'm looking right at you when I say this.
My mind is not right.
If it means going on a social media detox and getting yourself right for a couple weeks, the people who love you will still be there when you come back. Everyone's entitled to a break, to a breath. You know, that's it.
You know.
And I assure you that Lester ain't going anywhere.
Not for right now, anyways.
And if you ever do go anywhere, you have the support, you have people there. And I say that to anybody who's struggling, because I struggle and it's fucking scary. It's fucking scary to struggle. And this too shall pass, and there's always a light, and there's always somebody there. That's on my DMs that I put my phone number in my Twitter and in my Instagram. And I've had people message me all the time and text me and say, "Can we talk? I'm going through shit."
Oh, we lost you.
On the move.
Again, no, again, it's just the network is shitty.
Oh,
I gotta say this, man. Like, one, it's kind of late, and I was like, hey, maybe we'll do Corey tomorrow. But I'm so glad that you came back, and I'm so glad that we decided to do this because, bro, some real shit.
you're relating, aren't you? You're really relating to this conversation.
I'm relating to Corey. It's about
Yeah.
time. Because before we were all both business. Everybody's in a rush to try and get this cannabis off the plateau that we didn't even really get to connect as people. And right now, I've got to connect with my man. So I feel good. I feel the connection. Again, go home, hug the wife, hug the kids. I'm glad they were there for you, bro, to pull you out.
Thank you. And Jackie, letting you know, I am crying the real tears, just like I see you are too. So don't worry, you're not alone with that one either.
Enough, guys. I'm not gonna put any pressure on no more of both of you guys. We're all under quarantine. Corey, get home safe with your groceries. Yo, you know where Cannabis Talk is always fresh and a
Don't
little
shave
bit.
your beard.
Keep it locked. Cannabis Wiki, and we out.
Peace, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thanks for joining us. Wow. So